Diaries and remind you that this is our little diary entry, our little time on a Tuesday night where we share stories about women who have made the deliberate choice to step out of the fairy tale and live the life of their dreams. We welcome you, and we hope that you are going to get some great tidbits and tips from our live today. I want to start with a confession, and I'll tell you straight this time. I was ready to share this specific diary entry about an encounter I had. I'll tell you honestly, it was about an encounter I had with an undercover Cinderella, another woman also on a journey to wealth, had this happening. And then let me tell you today, somebody help me. Let me tell you today, tables got turned, and it turns out that a lot of what I was going to share with you about my encounter with this other undercover Cinderella, I found one finger pointing at my girl over there and every other finger on my hand pointing back at me. I got called out. I got a wake up call, and I'm going to share this with you tonight because I guess, if nothing else, I want to make sure you appreciate that even Hadriana Leo, Money Navigator, I still have to be very, very deliberate about how I walk and strut as I go along my wealth journey. Anyway, let me just share with you what started this all. Not too long ago, I was having a conversation with, I'll call her an undercover Cinderella because she's also hustling on her way to wealth. She's also, making her way and dealing with making peace with a lot of the things that are coming up for her. And we're having a great conversation, and it dawned on me a lot of times my coaching hat just comes on. It's just who I am. It's what I do. My coaching hat came on, and it dawned on me that, wow, for this person, like my Cinderella girl here, this is all an academic conversation. Like everything we're talking about here is just so full of logical arguments, logical do this, then do that. It was almost like a flow chart. And I remembered thinking to myself, aha, I see what's holding her back. I can see it. But as a coach, you never tell a person what's holding them back. They need to come to that realization. So we're not just going to say, oh, by the way, you need to do. If your coach is doing that, fire her. Fire her. Anyways, it was interesting to have that happen. I saw it very quickly. And I thought to myself, wow, this is all logical. She knows she needs help. She knows that she needs to do something different when it comes to going after her wealth and changing things, doing things a little differently with her money, making different choices with her money. But she came to our conversation still looking for a checklist, still looking for a do this, then do that. Then after this happens, do this. And if this happens, do that. Then if very, very logical, very much a conversation that was heavy in the head, and there was no heart, like no feeling, no emotion. If anything, the emotion that registered and resonated with me the most was that this person was so frustrated that what they were doing was not working, that they were trying to create another formula. But let me tell you, everybody who's listening to this right now, let me say this. Women who are on their journey to wealth feel all the feels. The reason why financial services has failed women is because they have tried to take emotion out. And if you identify as female, you probably can appreciate that a big part of how you operate, how you interact with the world is how you feel. Your gut talks to you, your head talks to you, the hairs on your arm or on your body, they stand up. You feel things, you're intuitive. You read between the lines. If you are intuitive, you read between the lines very well. If you have not been someone who understands or listens to your gut very well, reading between the lines can be a little sketchy. So be careful about reading between the lines. But definitely you throw some perspective on scenarios that come from a place that logic cannot go. The world has tried to erase that and remove that from the experience or our experiences with financial services. But that's what we're missing. And I was listening to my Cinderella girl talking, and I'm like, that's what you're missing. You need to feel the feels. You need to let that emotion in. And if it was a case where there are some of us who are just not particularly emotional, we don't need understand this is not about being overtly, I'm not talking about a woman crying, I'm not talking about women who are down in the dumps or having the blues. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about going inside yourself for answers and realizing that sometimes it's not about you pushing all the time. Sometimes it's about you sitting, being still, and letting what's yours just come. So, having had that conversation and planned for our Cinderella Diaries tonight, guess what happened with my coach this morning? Oh my goodness! Oh, what a call out! Hadriana Leo, Money Navigator, the creator of that unique math and mindset approach to financial fitness and wealth, the number one guru out there who invites you to bring both head and heart to your wealth journey, Hadriana Leo, who's all about, feeling all the feels. Well, Hadriana Leo was operating in a very masculine energy and called me out. I called myself out because the realization dawned on me as I was listening to other conversations going on. I had to call myself out because along my wealth journey, I realized that a lot of what I was feeding myself is all about, that push, that let's go. Okay, confession. Apparently, there may be a few confessions tonight, but one of my favorite tracks when I go to the gym, I think I shared with you before, I don't typically listen to music. I listen to motivational speeches. I listen to preachers. I think it's a great time for your body to take in things, whether actively or passively. One of my favorite tracks to listen to when I'm at the gym is called Dear Obstacle, I Will Destroy You. I love it. I love that track. It speaks to me on a level beyond which some of you might understand. But whether it's me working out at the gym, if I'm pushing myself physically, or if I know I'm coming up against a specific challenge, Dear Obstacle, I Will Destroy You is my jam. But then I thought to myself, so much of my inspiration seems to be centered around, crushing things and, slaying this and knocking this out and pushing. And oh my goodness, guys, Hadriana Leo, Money Navigator, needs to feel all the feels. And while my undercover Cinderella might have been the one to maybe trigger the thought, it left me percolating and led to my epiphany today that wealthy women need to feel all the feels. Yes, you're anxious. Yes, you're pushing and all of that. But wealthy women need to acknowledge that you have space inside you that is there to receive. You have space inside you that is just waiting for you to relax and things will fall into place. You have this essence, this feminine essence that we must acknowledge. We must give room to grow, to fly within us in order for our wealth to be realized in a way that is aligned, in a way that works for us best. Because when it doesn't, and I can feel it, when it doesn't, when I'm out of that alignment, when I'm pushing, physically I'm a wreck. Like, I'm telling you honestly, physically I'm a wreck. It's a situation where in the last few weeks I can feel it coming. I can feel my body saying something's not right. I can feel the tension, and I can feel all of that. And that's not how I'm rocking this journey, brethren. This is not the way I am making my tracks to wealth. I am making my journey to wealth with ease and grace and with the boundaries that I specify. Nobody is pushing me. I am pushing things out of my way, but also acknowledging that I have the capacity, I have the energy, and what is there for me is mine. I don't have to be pushing all the time. I appreciate the opportunities to grow. I appreciate the opportunities to learn. Look, tomorrow I'm registered for I'm registered for 3 webinars tomorrow. That's part of me learning and growing. 2 happening at the same time. I don't know how I'm going to do it, and then 1 right after. I am committed to growing. I'm not opposed to sacrificing for the things that I want to get done. I'm not saying that we don't have to stretch ourselves and move ourselves into places that may be uncomfortable. Challenge yourself. Yes, I'm all for that. But remember as well that we as women, we have innate gifts that will allow us to operate in the spaces and the places where we want to be, that will bring what is for us to us. So my commitment, I wrote this down. My commitment is, it's in my planner, that's why I looked over, to integrate a daily practice of release into my day to day. Integrated. It doesn't have to be a long meditation. I fall asleep because I'm tired. If the meditations go on and on, but being deliberate, even if it's for a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, being deliberate to get into that feminine spice, get into that place where I'm not always pushing, but that I'm open to receiving, and a place of flow, because that's how wealthy women do it. I'll tell you that a big part of what I do with my clients is exactly that. I encourage you to feel all the feels, because you need to feel all the feels. If what you're going after is just a practice, is just an exercise in academics and logic, forget it. Go to Google, download a spreadsheet, download a template or what have you, go to it, go build a budget and done. But if you are ready to do things differently, if you are ready to actually create your wealth journey the way you want it, you have to allow yourself to feel. That may mean you're going to feel uncomfortable. That may mean you might feel like you're not making the progress you want when you want it. That's okay. Feel it. That may mean that you're so angry you want to cry. Go ahead, you can cry. That may mean that you're so determined that nothing will stop you. Feel it. That might also mean that you need a quiet place to just rest, relax, and shut everything out. Feel it. Bring your emotions to your wealth journey, please. Once we acknowledge that, in fact, I just sucked my teeth. My goodness, I apologize. My mother would have had something to say about that. But if we as women honored our emotions more than we stuffed them in a box, closed the lid, taped it shut, we would have a much better world. Allow yourselves to feel. Allow yourselves to experience everything around that journey to wealth. Money is not academics. Your journey to wealth is not a logical exercise. Who you are and what you want to achieve, it is not a question of head thinking on its own. It is all heart. It is all heart. And it is something that we all should be celebrating as women on our way to wealth. So I'm going to leave it there. I've been called out, guys. I have been called out, ladies, gentlemen, whoever's watching this. I've been called out, and I'm calling you out in turn. If you are a woman on your way to wealth, you're not sure where you're going, what you're doing, or what to do next, we need to talk. Let's have a conversation about creating that strategy that's actually going to get you where you want to go. Who are you with money? How are you feeling about money? Where are you feeling money? What's that energy like? Are you going to go there, or are you going to try to stuff it, shut it, and tie it up and throw it off somewhere? I want you, as a woman on your way to wealth, to feel all the feels, acknowledge every aspect of your journey, and keep on going. You don't always have to push. You don't always have to crush. You don't always have to break things down to make your way. As a woman, you have amazing power to sit in your intuition, to feel all the feels, and allow your wealth journey to happen with grace and ease. That's it for me. That's it for me. I'm done. I'm going to go work on my daily practices, and I hope I can have a conversation with you on the other end of this soon. Let's talk. I'm with you on your journey. Join me on mine. All right. Take care, everybody. Toodles.